So hello people, this is Moscarblog and check this out. This is the new BMW XM label, the most powerful BMW ever produced. It has 748 horsepower from a V8 Biturbo system. And you may ask, why does it look like this? Because BMW only showed us the XM label red, which is a special edition, which is like in this matte black with this red grille, and it doesn't really look that amazing. And BMW only showed us the label red or the normal XM, but now there's this, the XM label. You can order this and you have the 748 horsepower from the label red, but you don't have that weird red exterior. Also on the label, you will get the red exterior on the label, but this one has the shadow line spec, and that's why this here is black. And I think this looks so much better. How you can distinguish it instantly from the normal XM is the black and red XM here, as you can see, the black and red XM. So people, a reason why the XM is a super interesting car is because this has the new power plant of the upcoming M5. And people are speculating if this exactly with the same power will come to the M5. Look at this. It's powered by a 4.4 liter V8 Biturbo, a new developed one, the S68. The previous one was the S63, for example, in the M5 F90 or in the M8. And this one is called the S68. It's newly developed. And it's most likely to appear in the new M5, maybe with the exact same power, the 748 horsepower. And that's why this car is super interesting. Let's talk a little bit about the looks and then go to the side and the back and then go inside. So people, check this out. We have splitted headlights here on the XM. I think they look really cool. You have to get used to them. We have the beautiful black and red XM badge here in the grille, and this tells you this is the label XM. And we have a lightened up grille, which looks super good. A lot of black here on the front, making it look aggressive. There's our sensor here hidden. And all in all, it looks really aggressive. You just have to get used to it a little bit. I think it looks super nice how the hood and the grille have like a combination together. Just look at that. I think this looks super nice. And look at these massive 23-inch wheels that look like on a concept car. These are so amazing. And this is the XM badge here with our charging port. We can go around 75 kilometers electric only, which is super nice, up to 140 or 150 kilometers per hour, which is also really good for a hybrid like this. So people, as you can see, we have a super interesting door handle here of the XM with this prism design that goes throughout the whole of the XM. And look at that down part of the body. Also so much black parts here. It looks super interesting if we step back. Look at that wheel arch here. It's also completely black. And we have the Hofmeister kink here as well. And everything is kept in black. If we wouldn't have the shadow line, this part here around the window would be red on the XM label. And I don't know if that looks so good, but in this here, in this combination with the Brooklyn Grey, it looks super amazing. So people, let's move on to the most interesting part about the XM looks wise. By the way, we have 315 section tires here at the back, also 23-inch. Just look at that rear. It looks so futuristic, so unique and so weird actually. The lights are really three-dimensional. They stick out a lot and they make these beautiful animations if we close it. And look at that, we don't have a BMW badge here. This is because they are engraved in the glass here. They are engraved in the glass here. This is to remember the M1, which also had the BMW badges on the left and on the right. And this is now here. Look at these super interesting exhaust pipes stacked up like that, looking super good or super interesting. And they also produce a fairly decent noise. As you can see, a lot of black parts here and the XM badge surrounded with the red to tell us that this is the label. So people, let's now have a look at the trunk, because we have quite some decent space with 527 liters. And if we fold the seats down, we even have 1,820 liters. And after we've looked at the trunk, we will jump inside, because the inside of the XM label is super interesting compared to the normal one. So people, as you can see, we have some fairly decent space with an XM badge that stores our charging cables and stuff like that. We can charge the XM with only 7.4 kilowatts, but that's enough because it's recuperating all the time. The battery isn't the biggest, but it's fairly decent, 25.7 kilowatt hours, which is fairly decent. It's supposed to go around 88 kilometers with that. I think realistic is 75, which is super good as well. Look at the trunk here, and let's now jump inside. So people, moving on to the interior of the XM label, look at that. We're starting at the rear. black and red seats. This is the theme of the label, and this is the exact same interior you will get in the label red. That's why I don't really understand the label red, because this one here looks way better from the outside, and you get the same goodies like the horsepower and this beautiful interior, which is really, really cool. Look at these beautiful XM pillows here. They look so soft. I want to take them at home. And check out the insane quality on the XM. Everything is leather or Alcantara. Look at this. This is so high quality in here. Everything is leather, beautifully perforated and stitched. Aluminium for our window switches, aluminium door handles, the Bowers & Wilkins audio system. Even this thing here, this little storage space, is in this beautiful leather with these red stitchings. The interior of the XM is like in an upper luxury vehicle. It's like in an S-Class, or I think it's even higher. There is more leather in here. And just look at it. It looks absolutely amazing. Even if I fold this thing here down, look at this. If I fold this down, even this thing here is completely covered in leather, and the beautiful black and red seats. And we also have a little lounge feeling here in the XM, because the leather goes over the door, as I've showed you on my door. And then you can rest on the side here, and it's still super luxury feeling. And look at that roof liner. We know it. I've showed it to you in the previous XM. This is so cool. One of the coolest features, one of the coolest roofs in any car. And let's now move on to the front and talk to you about the front. So people, moving on to the front of the new BMW XM label. Check this out. The beautiful black and red seat with the XM illuminated here. Doesn't that look absolutely insane? Just look at it. I think this looks so cool. And the black and red stitchings also here throughout the door. And also, of course, here at the front, everything is in beautiful leather. So high quality in this interior. Let's now jump inside. So people, of course, we have here the iDrive 8 screen, and this is our XM, and it shows what we are actually doing. Look at this indicator set on. This is so cool. This is so amazing. I love this. The XM badge here in red. And this isn't all. We also have like a reddish carbon here. The red stitchings everywhere, of course. And we have the red air vents we get on the label red. So this thing, like I said, it gives you all the goodies, but it still looks super good compared to the XM label red. And I think this is the one to get. The label instead of the normal one, or the label red, which is limited to 500 pieces. This one here is the one you can just go out and buy. Beautiful red carbon fiber. The iDrive 8, we know the M1 here in our screen, and if you press on it, it becomes an XM, which is also super funny. And these are our different toggles and modes. We have the M hybrid button here, and then we can control if it's in the hybrid mode and the completely electric, or in the e-control where it will charge the car. We have an M mode here where we can just change basically the dials, and the ambient lighting will switch on to red instantly. Look at these dials. These are the dials now. And in the normal road mode, we actually have an augmented reality camera, which is absolutely lovely. It's so crisp. And if we press the setup, of course, we can change everything in here. So people, let's now get a sound check of this XM label and then take it out for a drive. So people, let's now start driving the BMW XM label. I'm currently in the hybrid mode. As you can see, if I go to the M hybrid, it's now set to hybrid, so the car decides itself. When it needs more power, it switches on the V8, but it tries to use as much as possible of the battery. I've now switched it to the electric. We have a new gauge cluster, and look at that, full throttle. Listen to that. That was completely electric. A 2.7 ton car. And in the e-control, it will switch on the engine immediately, as you can see here. There it is. And it will try to charge the battery. So what I can tell you about the suspension, it's a little bit harsh, but it's doable. It's actually doable. The comfort level in here is super good because of these materials. I feel in such a high quality vehicle in here. And it's super silent when you are driving around. It's not Rolls-Royce levels, but it's still super good. Let's give it a little bit of throttle here. Look at that torque with the electric motor kicking in, and the V8, the 4.4 V8 we all know and love. Let's put it back into the hybrid mode to see what it will decide. And if I go to the setup here, I can change everything, as you can see. And we currently have an augmented reality in front of us here, which is super, super nice. It's like a camera. And if I switch on the navigation system, it will show me the arrows where I have to take a turn and stuff, which is also cool. But let's now put the M mode to the sport here, and then this will disappear, and we have a different gauge cluster showing us in what mode we are in, and basically focusing on our speed and RPM. So let's now turn up the shift knob, put it into the Sport Plus, everything. Let's just put everything into the sportiest setting and see what this thing can do. I'm really curious. It's burbling a little bit, as you could hear. Sounds super nice. Look at this. With my left shift pedal, I have a little boost mode, which gives me all of the electric power at once. And I will use that now here. After we took over that guy, after we overtook that guy, I will use it now. So people, look at this. I will now press it here, the boost. And now it's showing me the boost. Look at this. Oh, what a punch! Crazy. That was crazy. Oh, 120 already. That's insane. And that sound, it's so growly, this XM label. You could clearly feel the power increase compared to the normal XM. And it's so instant. Look at this. The power of the hybrid and the V8 combined is just so great. And we will test that out in a launch control here in a second. So let's now pull on the boost pedal again. Boost available, full power. Oh my God. That's insane. This is so fast. For a 2.7 ton SUV, just that you know, the G63 weighs around 2.4 tons. And that's crazy how this thing goes like an absolute sports car. So people, look at this. This is our camera, the 360 degrees camera, the Park Assist Plus. Look at this. It's so good. You can basically see everything from everywhere. It's showing us where we are going. It's absolutely amazing. So people, let's now do a launch control of the BMW XM label. Foot on the brake, foot on the gas. Launch it available. Oh my God. What a punch. Ho, ho, ho. This is insane. And the shifts are so aggressive. It's giving me like a whole shake in the car. It's so crazy, this car. For a big SUV, this is absolutely mental here. I want to check one thing. If the launch control is available with the full boost here, that would be super interesting, right? So people, let's now do a launch control of the BMW XM. Let's go. Full throttle. It's struggling for grip, but this is so amazingly fast. You can clearly feel the 0 to 100 in 3.8 seconds. You can just feel it feels so fast. And the brake pedal, when it's set to sport, I just have to touch the brake a little and the car already stops. What's also super cool is that we are currently recuperating. So we are constantly charging the battery when lifting off the throttle or braking. We're constantly charging the battery, which is also super nice. And you can drive with it electrically, as you want to see here. Look at this, as you can see. Fully electric now, V8 switched off. Just going electric, which is so nice for the daily use, especially that hybrid mode here, where the car decides itself and it just switches on and off. That's the best one. Let's now do one last launch control of the XM label with 748 horsepower and then finish off this review. Look at this. Go! Struggling. Oh, what a punch! That was insane. That one was insane, and I think it's faster than 3.8 seconds. This is clearly 3.3 seconds or something like this. What a punch this was. So people, I hope you enjoyed the review of the BMW XM, and I hope I'll see you in the next one. Till then, goodbye.